He left for work the same way he always did, taking the same route, carrying the same lunch pail, and promising his wife he would be home by 6 o'clock that evening. He never came back, and it would take 42 years for the state of Alabama to officially admit that what happened was murder. His name was Willie Edwards Jr., and he was 24 years old. He worked as a delivery driver for Winn-Dixie grocery stores in Montgomery, Alabama, earning $43 a week. It was not much, but it was honest work. He was married to Sarah Jean. They had 2 young daughters, and she was pregnant with their 3rd child, a son who would later be named Willie Edwards III. He understood the unwritten rules of the Jim Crow South. Keep eyes down. Say yes, sir, and no, sir, and never give white people a reason. He followed those rules because he believed they would protect him. On January 23, 1957, after 8 o'clock at night, he was driving alone on a rural Alabama highway when headlights appeared behind him and then pulled alongside his truck. A car forced him to stop. 4 white men stepped out, and one of them was holding a pistol. They accused him of offending a white woman, a false charge that had long been used to justify violence against black men. He was not the person they were looking for. He begged for his life and told them about his pregnant wife and children waiting at home. They did not care. The men drove him to the Goodwin Bridge, which stood 125 feet above the Alabama River. Years later, Raymond Britt described what happened in a sworn affidavit, and Henry Alexander later confirmed the same account. They held a gun on him and gave him a choice: jump from the bridge or be shot. He begged again, naming his wife and children, but the threat remained. He jumped, not by choice, but because he was forced to. 3 months later, fishermen recovered his body. Authorities ruled the death a suicide and closed the case, portraying it as another black man who supposedly could not endure the pressure of life in the South. Sarah Jean knew that story was false. At 23 years old, pregnant, and alone, she began a fight that lasted decades. For 19 years, she wrote letters to police, politicians, and prosecutors, but she was ignored. In 1976, 4 Klansmen were indicted based on Britt's confession, but Judge Frank Embry dismissed the case, stating that forcing someone to jump from a bridge did not legally prove murder. In 1997, she and her daughter Melinda filed a civil lawsuit against Alexander's estate. In 1999, a jury awarded $34 million, though they never collected the money. That same year, a judge officially ruled the death a homicide. Willie Edwards Jr. was a father, a husband, and a man who deserved to grow old. No one was ever convicted, but the truth was finally named.